Okay, so you want to finish the secret set so you can get that sweet 25% multiplier on your golden foods. But you need a whopping 100,000 Dark Lanterns for it. What are you going to do? Well, that is what we're trying to answer in this installment of Grind Time Dark Lanterns Edition. Here we go! Windwalker, Deathbringer, Divine Knight, Siegebreaker, Arcane Cultist, and Elemental Sorcerer. Since the last time we did one of these, 3 new masterclasses have been released. So instead of only 4 main classes with respawn abilities are being compared, we are now comparing all the 6 main character lines. In these tests, we're doing 1-hour grinding sessions on all the 6 main classes to see which ones are better equipped to gather different kinds of items. In this case, who can grind Dark Lanterns the most. We are passing gear, chips and obols around so everyone gets to be at around the same drop rate to eliminate gear being a decisive factor in results. And without wasting more time, here are the results. First off is one of the newcomers, the Deathbringer. He comes into the challenge with 82 times drop rate and 25,000 multi-kill. Earlier, Blood Berserkers had no way to respawn mobs, so they had a lot of idle time in active farming. But that has been improved with the Deathbringer and the Graveyard Shift ability, which both spawns additional enemies and causes normal mobs to respawn faster, making the Deathbringer run back and forth through the map, clearing it over and over for those sweet drops. Sadly for the Deathbringer, the additional killing power does not come with any amount of drop rate increase. So while active farming is now possible on Deathbringer, there is no actual benefit of active farming on the Deathbringer. And the drops after the hour speaks for themselves. With only 8 lanterns after 60 minutes, Deathbringers is not the way forward for this task. Next up is Deathbringer's goody two-shoes big brother, the Divine Knight. He comes into the challenge with 87 drop rate and 33,000 multi-kill. Divine Knight's secret weapon is the Orb of Remembrance ability, which grows his drop rate a lot based on how fast he can stack kills within a limited amount of time. Therefore, it's a good idea to maximize your crystal spawns while you're active grinding with your Divine Knight, so they can contribute to the remembrance stacks while casually giving you a lot of the golden food and statues while doing so. When we're tallying up the drops after the hour has passed, the Divine Knight is better than the Deathbringer, but 49 Dark Lanterns is not nearly enough to get us 100,000 anytime soon. Getting 3,300 additional golden food and 5,000 statues in an hour is still pretty great though. Third character out is the Arcane Cultist. He comes in with 78 drop rate and 27,000 multi-kill. He has tried this before under the guise of being a bunny conjurer, but since then he has got an upgrade to the Sizzling Skull and the ability Arcane Crystals. This spawns a few more mobs every time a threshold of kills is met, and boy do this threshold fill up fast on maps that have enough mobs that you can reliably raise dead every second. The main grinding benefit of Arcane Cultist is that their ability is to take out tons and tons of enemies very fast. So even though they have nothing that actually boosts their drop rate, they get triple the amounts of Dark Lanterns compared to the Deathbringer by ending up on 30 after the end of the hour. Still not enough for what we're going to need though. Next up is Siegebreaker. He has a drop rate of 78 and 28,000 multi-kill. His respawn ability is also tied to the amount of kills he can do via the Plunder Ye Deceased talent, so you also want to max the amount of crystal spawns you can do when active farming on him. Also, if you have good enough Voidwalker, excess coins gathered over 100 turns into a guaranteed plunderous mob spawn, and these have higher drop rates than everything the mob has to offer, so there's a reason to hope that he is not going to be entirely hopeless in this test. At the end of the hour, Siegebreaker has looted entire 67 Dark Lanterns, which is the best result this far and the first result that is over 1 lantern a minute. At this rate, we're gonna get the amount we need in about 70 days of active grinding. Well. The final newbie for this challenge is the Windwalker. With 85 drop rate and 28,000 multi-kill, active farming on Beastmaster has been significantly boosted with the new skills he has to offer. Uber Rar is now being up 100% of the time. In addition, a Spirit Reindeer is spawning us even more mobs every now and then. The Windwalker class is actually my favorite, so I'm glad to see that it has received some love from the developer recently. I even released a music video as a homage to the class earlier this summer because I really like it. But enough about that. The Windwalker's results are sadly nothing interesting. Respawning mobs fast is good, but no additional drop rate causes the drops to be at the lower end, with only 24 Dark Lanterns after the end of the hour. Even worse, we lost out on AFK time to gain more Aether Moons, which is a very important thing to get so we can unlock lots of other stuff in the compass. I really like the class, but not for active grinding specific drop tables. Finally, the last one, Elemental Sorcerer with 85 drop rate and 31,000 multi-kill, and the one that specializes on the first page drop tables. Surely they will beat the score of the previous contestants. The only question is by how much, and if it at all is enough. You see, active grinding for Dark Lanterns is an opportunity cost. If we do this, then we can't actively grind on Arcane Cultist and progress that masterclass and all the other stuff we also want to do. My thinking is that if I can get more than 1,000 Dark Lanterns from grinding an hour, then I can get 100,000 Dark Lanterns by grinding 100 hours. That is 25 hour sessions, and that can be done. But if I get less than that, I just don't think it's worth it. And after the hour we tallied up, and it's 127. It is more than 2 lanterns a minute, but it is way too many hours of active grinding that it will be worth it. So what do I do now? So, my thinking is that if I let the game run like this for 40 days straight, I would get enough Dark Lanterns to make the Mittens of the Gods just in time for September. And what happens in September? Well, that is when the World 7 is expected to start to drop. And for me, it just doesn't quite feel worth it to get Mittens of the Gods just a few days before World 7. And why is that, you might ask? Well, my guess is that when World 7 drops, there will be a lot easier to get the Mittens of the Gods after a while. Either we will get rebalancing of the materials cost to the Mittens of the Gods by reducing the amount of Dark Lanterns we are going to need, or I also think we might get a lot of more damage and multi-kill and drop rate from World 7, which just makes it a lot easier to gather the Dark Lanterns. And the most important thing is that there is a very high chance we are going to be able to spend candy in World 6, and that would just speed up the process a lot, especially for those of us that has thousands and thousands of candy hours lying in the bank that is just waiting to get used on stuff like this. So I don't think it's worth it for me to spend that much time active grinding when it's going to be so much easier once World 7 gets there. But you do these tests for yourself. If you get more than 1,000 Dark Lanterns in an hour, you could get it pretty decently by just grinding out for 100 hours. And that might be worth it if you want to have the bonus now rather than later. But if you are like me, also having other stuff you want to do on your account, we might be better off by just waiting a tiny bit. And yeah, with that, I would like to say thank you guys for watching this video. If you like my videos and you want to support my channels, the best way to do that is by interacting with the video, liking it, commenting on it, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and yeah, if you haven't already, please consider checking out the music video I released earlier this summer. It is something I worked on a lot, and yeah, I hope that it is enjoyable to you two guys. And yeah, thanks for watching. It's been Harbinger, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And until then, you take care.